Yo, what is up? It's Unruly, and I'm back, and we got a review for Prey, and Yo Video Games was excited to watch it because I don't know, we didn't really get a lot of the reviews, but Evo happened, so it kind of split up. So me, Simmons, and Steve went to Evo. Max stayed, and it really kind of threw a monkey wrench in us watching it, and wanted to watch it before, but that's neither here nor there. But so far, I believe 3 of the 4 dudes have seen it. Simmons hasn't seen it. Sorry, Simmons. But first, out of the box, I loved it. I loved it. I could easily say that is the second best Predator film. Predator 1, and then Prey. About Predator 1, it's probably one of the greatest films of all time. One of my favorite films. It's like Predator is probably, yeah, it's one of the greatest action sci-fi films of all time. And it's a movie that holds up till this day. To this day, right? You know, the effects, the story, the characters, good Lord. And not only, it's just everything about it. The pacing, it's just so fantastic. Prey is amazing. It's like something I've always wanted to see. I've always had an idea of like, oh man, you know, what if, you know, especially after Predator 2, we see the gun. So, you know, seeing that as a young kid made me think, I'm like, whoa, would it be cool if there was a pirate Predator movie or a Native American Predator movie? And because I think, to me, like, some of the Predators really kind of have that Native American kind of like, not culture, but like way of life, right? The strong. And I always wanted to have, like, you know, the strongest or the best, you know, hunter of a Native American tribe go up against a predator. And so I've had this idea for a long time, and I finally got to see it. And like, I wanted to see the predator like land and, you know, maybe fight some cowboys and kill some cowboys, and people are like, dude, there's some monster. I don't know, but neither here nor there. But the film was fantastic. I loved it. The scenery, it was great. Easily still the second best. Amber Midthunder, phenomenal in that film. Her brother, I believe, was it her brother? Dakota Beavers, also good. Everything was just fantastic. The look of the tribe and the film. You know, it wasn't perfect. There are some things I'm like, man, I wish this or wish that. But it hit a lot of the stuff, man, and the action sequences were awesome. I loved it. The action sequences were fantastic. There was a lot of cool Easter eggs to the original and the sequel, and it was a fantastic film. What more can I say without getting into spoilers? You know, I think it had great pacing. It took a few of the beats from the same one. Also, the dog. The dog is probably one of my favorite characters. Shout outs to the dog, who was actually a rescue. So that, yeah, the dog was super awesome. I'm like, dude, I love it. I want to see more Amber Midthunder, and I want to see more of the dog, and I want to see Dakota Beavers. And one thing too, you know me, on representation, that's like my thing. I love it. And to see this film done with you know, real natives and get to be the star of the show, and it was done so well, it just made my heart shine. It was fantastic. But yeah, the fight scenes were great. It was good seeing the Predator do his thing, and looks like he was new on Earth and discovering the whole food chain and stuff like that. If I had a nitpick on it, I would say the design of the Predator. It wasn't like, oh my god, but you can't, like, believe it was Stan Winston, and my goodness, man, like that like that original Predator it can't be touched. And like, and the thing with some of the other movies, you know, like some of the other movies, they kind of just took what he did and went with it. And this is a little bit different. It was kind of cool, but I'm like, I don't know, man. I think they got to go with like Predator 1 looked amazing, Predator 2, and even some of the other films really kind of borrowed. And if you wanted to see a bunch of cool predators, look at all the action figures, right? And all the different kind of predators and so forth like that. And I would have liked to seen maybe the Predator have some I would say like where some of his trophies, like some of the first couple of Predators, right? He's killed a couple of things, have some accoutrement to make that to make him look a bit cooler, right? Because my goodness, man, like you still see that Predator. I mean, till this day, it just looks fantastic. Like I'm looking at the Predators, Stan Winston designs, right? And I would have liked to seen it. And it is a couple of 100 years before we even get to where we're at right now. But my goodness, man, like I think they would have nailed it out of the park if they would have borrowed a little bit from Stan. And other than that, but the movie hits. It's a 9 out of 10. I love all the nods. It was done respectfully. This was easily done with somebody who loved the films, who've seen them many times. 1, 2, and maybe all the subsequent Predator films. But I just think that the design could have been kicked up just a notch. Maybe I just dumb it down, but it did seem like, hey, this was like a different tribe or a different species of it. But I loved it. It was fantastic. If Simmons hasn't seen it, maybe if he hasn't seen it till next week, we'll go to Yo Video Games early and we'll watch it together. But fantastic film. Also, one of my gripes, not about the film, but one of my biggest gripes, that this was not released in theaters. That is probably one of the biggest like nitpicks. Like this would have been fantastic in a theater because the scenery was beautiful, the cinematography, just the the costumes, and it would have been fantastic. Like that's it. But other than that, it's a great film. Easily, like it redeems a lot of. I mean, like you can't redeem it, but like if we would have got something like this a long time ago, we would have got more Predator films, right? Because it's a risk, man, because none of them have been really that good. Like the AVPs are kind of like the Fast and the Furious films of Predator, because they're just kind of like some schlock. But the first Predator film is a masterpiece in filmmaking. It's a masterpiece in tension and everything like that. And I think that's maybe I would have liked to have seen maybe a little bit more tension, maybe, but I don't want to talk about too much because it'll get in spoiler talk, and I think we'll probably do a big spoiler talk this weekend at Yo Video Games, so make sure to check that out. But anyways, guys, this has been a Ruli with my Predator review. It is fire. I love the actress, the dog, all the other actors were fantastic. It gave me a bit of Apocalypto vibes. And it's sick, and I really hope, there's an after credit scene. I really hope that if there's more, that we get to see her come back. And here's the thing. My final thoughts. Right, in Predator 2, we sadly didn't get to see Arnold, but we got Danny Glover. Danny Glover did the best, right? But in a world, it's a hard act to follow. Danny Glover did a hell of a job, right? But I think Predator used up all the action stars that they had. So, but like I said, we did not really get to see Dutch come back and be like, hey, I'm the pro. I know how these things work. I know how they operate. And I know how we can kill it, right? And if there's a sequel, I'd love to see her come back and be like, hey, I know what's up. I know how these things work. I know what we can do. And so forth like that, and like use use all that, man, because it's awesome. But anyways, that's my that's my thoughts. I'm already thinking of the film, and I'm already thinking of the sequel. And put that in the theaters, bro. Put that in the, have the same director, same actors and actresses and stuff like that, and put it in the theater. All right, thanks for watching. Peace.